Week with Hatori. Hello. So I blew past this week. I really struggled writing this song. I had the concept that whole week, and I had written out essentially a story, and throughout the week kept adding to it, taking away. So then I finally sat down to write the song Saturday morning, as I always do, and had a terrible time trying to make it a song. Like, I got hooked on this idea of like being the ugliest person in the world, because as soon as you hear that, I think each individual person tries to imagine what the ugliest person in the world looks like. And that got me thinking about what that really means to each individual, to society. And it went on from there. And so the story is essentially like what happens if you wake up and all of a sudden you're the ugliest person in the world. What happens? How do people treat you? How do you feel? What does that look like? What is that? What is that even? And so I was exploring that. And at first I thought that I could run with like, okay, what are like the social consequences of being considered hideous? And I was going to explore that and hopefully like to expose ingrained prejudice, and then I just kept going, and it just didn't feel right. There wasn't really a good way to resolve that in the song, and maybe it shouldn't be resolved anyway, but I decided like, nah, like this is so much more about how we view ourselves and how that affects how we view other people. So I wanted to explore more hidden prejudices that actually reflect the things that we hate about ourselves. So I went with that. Had a terrible time, obviously, trying to get this to sound like a song. And honestly, it ended up being just a synth and a vocal, which is really bare bones, like nothing. And so I'm not really happy with how it turned out, but I think that the concept itself and just what I have could become a song. I didn't want it to be too structured and too rhymey. I wanted it to feel like somebody telling a story. But in doing that, I had a real hard time picking a melody that was simple enough that it left room for the story, that wasn't too boring, to me at least. I have a hard time just letting things be. So I did go back and forth with a lot of the phrasing, a lot of the words, a lot of the melody, and it was just a huge time suck, and that's where all my time went. So I will shut up now, and you can listen to this song. Here it is.
I woke up one morning as the ugliest person in the world. I didn't know that I was the ugliest person in the world. I poured myself some coffee and caught up on some news. Fed the dog and made the bed just like I always do. I put on a jacket and grabbed my keys, closed the door behind me and faced the gentle breeze. The trees were swaying, the birds were singing for me. All was ordinary, the world as it should be. I took a left and saw a stranger cross the street, walk in my direction, see me in their periphery. I looked their way, one wondering if by chance they were a friend. But they saw my face and turned away and hurried to the end. Strange, I thought they must be in a rush. I didn't think I'd been the one to put them off so much. Next I saw the mailman working his morning shift. He looked up and saw me and his body went stiff. I asked him if something was wrong, but he left without a word and he made his exit swift. Soon I came upon some sliding glass doors. I stopped to read the words posted on the store. Don't wait, put on your best face. Today could be the day you meet that soulmate. When I saw a familiar face, a friend on the other side, but when she saw me, she ignored me, much to my surprise. In my stomach, a pit began to grow. Something was wrong, and what I had to know. I went to see my mother at her house just down the street. She opened the door, I looked at her and she looked back at me. She said, "My sweet child, I have longed to see your face." She took my hand and said, "My sweet child, today you look just like me." I saw in the mirror that what she said was true. Not my face, but in its place, my mother's through and through. I gasped and ran out the door as fast as I could move. Down the road and past the places I once knew. Until I came upon a lake and knelt into the shore. I held my breath and rubbed my eyes and bent over the water just to see a face look back at me when I'd seen there before, a face so ordinary. I woke up this morning as the ugliest person in the world. I woke up this morning and I looked just like myself. I woke up this morning as the ugliest person in the world. I woke up this morning and I looked just like myself.
So that's it. I think that I could clean it up and make it more interesting. There's so much like sonically that I could do with it that's more like decorative. Bells and whistles, you know? And maybe I would just cut that end part. I think I could just end it on a face so ordinary. And that's it. I think that would probably be better. It's also quite long, so actually, how long is it, really? It is 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes, okay. I mean, that's, I guess today is a long song, so anyway. Weird. Yeah, weird. Let me know what you think of it. If it feels cheesy or if it actually feels like it means something to you. I'd love to know. So let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.